The MK party says it has formally written to the Speaker of Parliament asking for her to consider its motion of no confidence in President Cyril Ramaphosa. The party accuses the president of double standards, saying that he dismissed former Higher Education Minister Dr. Nobuhle Nkabane, yet failed to act against the Police Minister, Senzo Mchunu. The MKP says this proves that the Government of National Unity is not serious about real change. For more on this, we are now joined by the MK Party's MP, Brian Molefe. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Have you received the responses yet from the Speaker?
No, not yet. The letter was only sent to the Speaker yesterday, and we expect the Speaker to convene the House in the next 2 weeks to debate the motion.
Yeah, and considering with this motion and with all motions, it's a numbers game as well. What's the MK Party's tact around how it's going to approach this motion of confidence to ensure that it is successful?
We are obviously going to be talking to the alliance, Progressive Alliance in Parliament, our alliance partners, and we will also talk to other parties in the period between now and when the motion is debated.
Would this include the EFF?
Yes, the EFF is in the alliance.
The Progressive Caucus?
Progressive Caucus, yes.
Yeah, okay. So that consultation hasn't taken place as yet with any of the political parties as yet that you would be approaching?
No, not yet, not yet. We will have the discussions, and then hopefully we can even have a joint Progressive Alliance statement.
Yeah, and even if you do that, especially with the Progressive Caucus, you'd still not be over the 200, at least 200 threshold, if you consider that 50% plus one. Is there a strategy that includes, amongst others, to see if there are members of the Government of National Unity that would be interested or also have no confidence in the president?
We might consider asking for a secret ballot. Alternatively, we will talk to all the parties that are in Parliament to support the motion. All
right. Tell us about why you've brought this motion.
There are 5 reasons, basically, and the first one, set of reasons. The first one is our governance failures, persistent high levels of crime and lawlessness under his watch, allegations of interference with law enforcement, as highlighted by Lieutenant General Kwanazi, economic mismanagement, high unemployment, record high unemployment at 41%. People just don't have jobs. People are struggling to survive because they don't have jobs. It's not even that their salaries or the wages are low, but they just don't have jobs at all. And this is a very serious and concerning matter, and it doesn't look like the government has a plan. The leadership instability, inability to effectively govern the country due to severe instability in government and political expediency in retaining compromised ministers. And national security concerns, failure to secure South Africa's borders, leading to an influx of undocumented foreign nationals, and inadequate response to organized crime. And then the 5th set of reasons are the lack of transparency regarding the campaign funding, including the sealing of court records related to his campaign funding. And finally, failure to act decisively against corruption within state-owned enterprises and government institutions.
Yeah, when you reference campaign funding and his campaign funding, we're speaking here about the president, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So would this be his campaign funding from within the ANC?
Yes.
Okay. Which particular part of that campaign funding is it that the MK Party wants to be
You will remember that the records relating to the CR17 campaign finding are sealed by the courts, and that we still do not have proper accounting of where the money came from and what happened there. The other documents that are sealed are the documents relating to the Phala scandal, where the IPID report was declared as top secret and not available. but also the records relating to Palapala and the CR funding, campaign funding were sealed by the courts.
Okay, so why would you then want on that basis for the president to step down if that is a matter that was dealt with by the courts? Transparency
is a cornerstone of our constitution and our democracy, and so any inability to be transparent by the head of state who has making a sworn oath to the Constitution is actually a violation of the Constitution. So we feel that because of the lack of transparency, which is a key cornerstone of the Constitution, that the president is violating his oath of office.
All right. Let's quickly then go to the Constitutional Court, the Constitutional Court matter. The president was set to respond, at least that was the deadline that was given to him, that he must respond by yesterday, Tuesday. Not too sure if the MK party has received the president's papers as yet?
No, we have not received the president's response, or I have not seen it at least.
Yeah, okay. On the matter relating to the court challenge that the MK party has brought, the acting Deputy Chief Justice, Madlanga, is still acting Chief Justice of the country. And last week, when we spoke to your deputy leader, Dr. John Hlophe, he said that there shouldn't be a case where you have a sitting judge presiding over a commission of inquiry. And now, considering that you have this matter that is before the Constitutional Court, would the MK party want to see Justice Madlanga be recused or recuse himself from hearing this particular matter or even dealing with it?
Yes, because, of course, the commissions of inquiry, and it's a mistake that was made also with Zondo. It's just that there was no challenge at the time. But the sitting judges should not be sitting in commissions of inquiry because of what may come out. The conflict, of course, in this particular instance is also that Lieutenant General Mpanazi implicates the judiciary. And so if you have a sitting judge there, there is a conflict immediately. And so we feel that for those reasons, the chairperson of the commission should not be a sitting judge. By the way, I mean, Justice Zondo, I have, for example, applied for a review of his findings with respect to myself. And his response is, he's a sitting judge. He cannot be taken to court. And yet, there was a commission of inquiry, which was not a court case, which made findings, and to which I'm entitled to a review. So how do we deal with that? And that's why I say that even with Zondo, it was a mistake to put in a sitting judge. But I don't think we should repeat that mistake.
Yeah, and this is even though the president says that the acting Chief Justice, the acting Deputy Chief Justice term comes to an end at the end of July, and his responsibilities of overseeing this investigation will only come after or while he is in retirement. So after he's done with his term.
But at the time of his appointment, he is a sitting judge. And even if his term comes to an end, there should be a cooling off period. It is a good practice to say a judge must cool off before he can do things that he would otherwise not have been able to do as a judge.
All right, Brian Molefe is the Member of Parliament for the MK Party. Just the final one. Today is, of course, the appropriation bill that is going to be voted on. The MK Party's stance on that?
We will not be supporting the appropriation bill. We feel that this budget does not address the deep problems of unemployment, inequality, and poverty. That people are going hungry. There is no a plan to help people out of their poverty and hunger. The economy is not growing. The Treasury has targeted growth rate of 1.4%. estimates that the economy will only grow at 1.4%. The medium-term development plan says we need a growth rate of 3% to deal with unemployment by 2036. So we're not nowhere near what is required to be done. We feel that we need drastic measures to deal head-on with the problem of poverty, with the problem of unemployment, and the problem of inequality. The South African economy has cruised along on autopilot for the last 30 years and has not really changed the structure of the economy from the apartheid economic structure under which African people have suffered.
All right. Thank you so much. Brian Molefe, Member of Parliament for the MK Party. We're going to take